Caitlin Clark makes WNBA history against Las Vegas Aces. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever did not get off to a good start to their West Coast trip, falling to the Golden State Valkyries on Thursday. On Sunday, Clark and the Fever faced reigning WNBA MVP A'ja Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces as they looked to get back above .500 to begin the 2025 WNBA season. Coming into the game, Clark had recorded 398 assists through 47 games during her 2-year WNBA career. With 7 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Clark stole the ball before hitting teammate Natasha Howard for an easy fast break layup, marking her second assist of the game and 400th of her career. In doing so, Clark has become the fastest player to record 400 assists in WNBA history, reaching this number in 48 games. The previous record holder was former Sacramento Monarchs guard Ticha Penicheiro, who reached 400 assists in her 55th career game in 1999. The next closest is former New York Liberty guard Teresa Weatherspoon, who reached this mark in 64 games that same year. Weatherspoon notably coached the Chicago Sky last season before being let go. Since Clark joined the WNBA as the #1 pick in 2024, she has been statistically the best passer in the league. Last year, she led the league in assists with 8.4 per game, and she is doing the same this year with 8.7 entering Sunday's game. Clark also had the record for the most assists in a single game, 19, and single season, 337. Following the Aces game, Clark and the Fever will finish out the road trip on Tuesday, facing the Seattle Storm at 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, I think the little things, we've kind of just shot ourselves in the leg consistently doing that. We turn the ball over, we foul a lot. You know, those are just easy points for them. I don't know how many points they had at the free throw line tonight, but I think they had 18 off of our turnovers, and that mostly falls on me. That falls on me as our point guard. I think I have to really get us into stuff, especially in the fourth quarter. We didn't do a good job of taking care of the ball. I didn't. So I think just starts with me and just getting better in that. And I feel like we're really close to being really good, and I think that's what's kind of been frustrating about these few losses. And I think for us today, I think this is much different than the Golden State loss. I think Golden State, we just got straight up outplayed and, out hustled. Tonight we did things really well for a good portion of the game. I thought we executed in our scout in the ways that we wanted to, and, down the stretch, we just really couldn't find a way to get it done.
What was the challenge of getting any kind of offensive flow today? Both teams seem to have a tough time.
I thought we executed really well in the first half. I thought we did a tremendous job of making them pick and choose out of the ball screen if they're going to play drop. AB's going to have a field day, and that's exactly what she did. She was able to get just naked rolls to the rim and be able to finish. And then they made an adjustment in the second half and kind of clogged it a little bit more, and we weren't quite able to get exactly what we wanted there. I thought at times we could have played a little bit faster, and I think that's on me, not conceding in that. We still got to play up tempo. We still got to play fast. But I thought for the most part we did a lot of stuff that coach wanted us to do, and that wasn't why we lost.
Caitlin, I believe you're 1-17 from 3 over the past 2 games. Mm-hmm. Feeling off at all from 3 or anything?
No, there's going to be stretches that are really good, and there's going to be stretches that aren't as good, and obviously it's frustrating. You want them to go in, and even tonight I felt like there was a few that felt really good off my hand, and it just didn't go down. And even the mid-range jump shot to start the fourth quarter and the 3 to start the fourth quarter, they both felt good off my hand. So it's just frustrating. And I think for the challenge for myself going forward is just continue to pour into every other aspect of the game, and I can continue to have an impact in all those other areas. I thought I got to the rim well. It was just certainly a tough shooting night, and I got to find a way to continue to shoot and remain confident in myself, because I know I put the time in. But for me, I don't feel like it's anything that's off necessarily. But it'd be nice if they went down.
Aaliyah, you guys are on game 2 of this road trip. You guys have a lot of games coming up, a little rest in between. What's the focus right now for this just in terms of stuff off the court as well and trying to get influence?
Yeah, just making sure that we're taking care of our body, taking care of each other. And then for us, our focus is Seattle. We can't look too far ahead because Seattle is right around the corner. So just making sure that we look at this game, what Seattle does, how we want to play, make sure we are just prepared because obviously they're a good team, and so we have to make sure that we're ready for that.
Caitlin, I know you see this everywhere you go, but how do you feel when you walk into a opposing arena and you see all these young girls and young boys wearing your jersey, you know, with signs for you and stuff? I mean, how does it, as a person, how does that make you feel to see that away from home?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously really, really appreciate it. Like, a lot of people spend a lot of time and money to be able to see us play just one time. So that's never something that gets old, and I think it's always a good reminder for myself if, you know, I have a tough day like today or, you know, whenever. It's just like there's so many people that are there supporting you and love watching you play basketball. And at the end of the day, that's why you do it, because you can inspire a lot of young girls. So just really thankful for those people that continue to show up and support our team and, you know, love on my teammates. So it certainly isn't something that ever gets old.
At what point, this question's for each of you, at what point, the two-woman game between the two of you was like working amazing in the first half, and later on in the third, at what point do you know, like, this is going to work?
When do we know? When we watch film?
Yeah.
We know
So we scout,
work.
yeah.
What do you think what was the game plan against her to kind of slow her down?
Well, like I said pregame, it was just to try to make everything as difficult as possible. Like, you know, Asia's one of the best players in the world. You know, you're not going to stop her. So we just needed to make it difficult, and I thought AB did. But Asia did what great players do, and they step up in the fourth quarter, and that's what she did.
Caitlin's 1-17 from 3 over the past 2 games. Just what have you said to her, what she kind of said about keeping that confidence in this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is what we have to do as a staff to get her better looks, like higher quality looks. Every game plan is going to be to make her score inside the three-point line, right? And the different ways that they're going to do that. Physicality, coverage, showing bodies, you know, all the different things. And, you know, we have to do a better job of getting her higher quality looks. You know, I'm not worried about Caitlin's shot. Caitlin's shot is going to be just fine. The thing I'm worried about is our 18 turnovers for 28 points.
Last 2 games, you guys have been leading going into half in the fourth quarter, picking up 16 points. Just what stands out to you about the last 5 minutes of the first?
Yeah, I felt like everything we did was a lack of discipline in some way, shape, or form. Turnovers, fouls, missed rotations on the defensive end of the floor, you know, giving up timely offensive rebounds, you know, things like that. It's all things that are correctable. And I think the challenge for us as, you know, when you think about, you know, our big three and how young they are, you know, together especially, it's the challenge is you got to shorten those moments, right? It can't be 5-6 possessions in a row. You know, we call a timeout when it's 5-0. We come out, we execute, and then I think they go on like another 6-0 run. Like, you got to be able to, in those moments, problem solve, and you got to be able to nip it. I mean, great team. Basketball is a game of runs, but we have to shorten the opponents. And we have to lengthen hours. And sometimes it's as simple as just being a little bit more patient and disciplined.
Stephen talked about to piggyback off that, you know, Golden State days. Did it feel like there were some similarities considering Natalie's approach to that what you were seeing out there and trying to make adjustments on the fly? Did it seem something similar like we just saw in the system?
I don't know if it just as far as the system, just because the personnel is so different. You know, I think more than anything, when you saw the way that that Jackie gets downhill, right, that she attacks the rim, when you saw where Asia started getting the ball as opposed to where she got the ball early in the ball game, how intentional they were at making sure they got it in those possessions. Chelsea, who always hits the timely big ones. I mean, they're championship pedigree. And in those moments, they step up and make the big plays. And so I think more than anything, you know, this game did not feel the same as Golden State. I think we still grew in ways, but you know, at the end of the day, we've got to find ways to win ball games.
You mentioned, obviously, they're good games, but Aaliyah and I put
Yep.
in some work, and even Dana and Tip, not on the stat sheet, but the minutes that they provide, you talk about their bench, how key it is.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like they always do a really good job of having the players that come off the bench that fill the gaps, right? That fill the holes. And, Aaliyah Nye, who we know is a knockdown shooter, made some big ones. Dana gives Chelsea a spell, right? She comes in and she's different. With her speed and her quickness and her ability to get downhill. And obviously Tiff comes in and makes an impact, gets to the free throw line, has a couple of rebounds. I mean, positive plus minus by everybody from the bench. And it takes everybody.
He didn't play today. Was that just trying to get returners assimilated before leaving each other?
No, it was more of a matchup thing. It was more of a matchup. I like Bree Turner's length and defensive ability. On Asia, or when we had to get into some switches, and it's always kind of a tough decision sometimes with the offense that Didi can give us with this matchup, and sometimes it is as simple as just it's matchup driven.